Hey everybody, it's the mysterious and elusive WillBits, never before documented by man until now. Celebrate monster diversity at Moncon 3018. Finally, it's been getting a little crowded this year, but I hear Godzilla's not showing up this time, so it should be a little bit nicer. The monsters are here in New York. They're giving out autographs. Get yours before the event ends. We have till Wednesday at 3 p.m. to pick up some monsters, and there's a couple of guys returning, which is pretty exciting. Notably, Mr. Peppy, who's sitting right here. Yeah, you're here too now, aren't you, Mr. Peppy? Aren't you? It's kind of controversial, but you're back. Let's talk about that too, but after we talk to Bender.
Sorry I'm late for work. Yeah, I hope you did my job for me. It's a madhouse out there.
Yeah, the big monster convention's in town this weekend, so there's a lot more traffic than usual.
MonsterCon's this week. Well, that explains the traffic, but how do you explain all the monsters? Oh, right.
Built the Moncon Convention Center, looking a little bit like the San Diego Convention Center. Oh, do I have room over there? That's not where I want it. Set it right over here for now. Builds fast, completely free, pretty good start. Oh, here.
Hey, Amy, MonsterCon's in town. Want to check it out?
Sure, I always wanted to see the Hamburglar.
I don't think the Hamburglar is a monster.
He wasn't before, but last summer he killed and ate 10 kids. That just makes him a cannibal? Were the kids hamburgers? I'm gonna assume that... No, I'm not gonna assume anything. So we're picking up these tickets. We don't know what those do yet, but we've got... Oh, cool. When you click on the thing, it actually shows you the stuff over here. These are our monsters I've stumbled into a little too soon. And the Department of Parks and Monsters is actually a really hilarious building. Drops a bunch of the signatures, I think. But we're going to be getting El Chupanibre for 250. These guys are all 250 signatures. And it looks like you'll be able to get them at whatever order you want. We're just going to be collecting lots of these things.
You're actually going to MonsterCon after I specifically complained about how the traffic made me late for work?
Yeah, it could be fun. Plus, you hate going to work, remember?
I don't hate going to work. I hate doing work. Being late means I miss the morning Zoidberg kicking.
Well,
all right, Amy's busy for 4 hours. Fry's busy for an hour. And you notice there was a lot of things they could pick up. You can get swag tickets from Bender, you can get signatures, and all of this good stuff that is going to be used for things. I believe the swag tickets are for, yes, they're for these. They're just for decorations. You can get a green monster. Oh, that's pretty funny that he's a cool band member. Oh, and there's a cyclophage pin and Bigfoot's log cabin, which you can get for sanctuary permits. It's nice to be able to come here and see what they actually get. I guess the Professor, Scruffy, and La Barbara, and Earl, and Hermes can all apply for permits. You'll need those if you want to get those items. The swag tickets can be gotten from Zoidberg if you've got them already. Bender, Smitty, Scruffy, Leela, Horrible Gelatinous Blob, and the Professor. And Kiff, my goodness, lots of La Barbara, lots of characters can get all these things. Leg Mutant can get them, Hermes can get them, Earl can get them, Elzar can get them, like, Fry can go get them, almost all of our characters, Amy, and the Convention Center all drop these things that we need to build those items. So if you're just sending characters off on tasks, and I think the goal with having so many there was that either you can choose to send everybody off and get things as fast as you want, or if any of those characters are on your main team, like I know Amy's on my grind team, so I'm not very partial to sending her out, you'll be able to pick up those things. I think it's going to work really similarly to how Valentine's did, but maybe even easier because we're not going to have to get the orbs from specific places. Signatures, again, you will be able to get them both from the event buildings and from characters doing tasks, and you're going to be able to get them by running space missions, from what I understand. Let's check out the space. Are they on Earth? They are on Earth. there are actually 10 new maps, and from what I understand, they don't have the same kind of crazy character-specific gates that we've been seeing, so you can kind of run these with anybody that you want. So from what I understand, like, this first map only has a recommended level of 5, but they go up very quickly, and from what I understand, level 10 is supposed to be challenging for anybody. It's going to be challenging for me. I'm going to go in with level 99 characters, and some other, like, max level players I've seen have found that map to actually be challenging. So, also very convenient. I didn't talk about it last video, but you can speed fights up now. Yeah, I don't need it as much right now, because these maps are ridiculously easy because I'm one-shotting everything, but it's going to be handy for getting these repeatedly. That you can skip the cutscenes for their ultimates, and you can also press that little button in the top right and speed through fights as fast as you want. Those are some nice quality of life upgrades that they didn't have to give us, so I'm pretty pleased about that. I'm sorry, a lot of people caught me for not talking about it last video, and I just hadn't realized they were there yet at the time. But check this out, I can just bloop. I don't want to watch that. Sorry, Lur.
The planet Omicron pussy I hate.
Whoa, Galaxians? That's awesome. Oh, is this a teaser of a video game event coming up? Because I want to go to there. The cargo drops are going to be pretty similar across the board. You get swag tickets, sanctuary permits, and the higher of a level you're able to clear, the better those drops are going to be. From what I can tell, it's a direct relationship this time around between how far in you go and how good your drops are going to be. So, without gates holding you back, you just want your biggest, toughest, nastiest dudes to just crank through these maps as hard and as big as you can go. Because that's how you're going to get the characters. It's going to be a combination of sending out people to go grinding for the stuff. I will be focusing on characters first and foremost, because it's really all I care about. But the decos and other stuff look like they're not going to be that hard to get. So this event seems fun? I'm cautiously going to say that this seems like a fun event. Oh, and the Neptunian Yeti is actually here. But which is different than Bigfoot. They are similar, but they are different in climate and environmental ways. So yeah, that's basically gonna be it. Run space missions, send as many characters as you please to go after whichever item you want as a priority. I would recommend prioritizing signatures just to make sure you get everything in on time. Notably, and I actually can't show it off because I already have them, in addition to these 3 new monsters, hilariously, the pain monsters, who I was told this was like the pain monster event, and everybody was like, who's the pain monster? And he's literally a one joke character from one episode.
And if we don't want to pay our taxes, why, we're free to spend a weekend with the pain monster.
See you April 15th, folks.
Like, that's it. It's a funny joke. It's a funny joke about taxes, and who doesn't like to joke about taxes? Everybody likes jokes about taxes because we all hate them. You once again have a chance to get Pazuzu, the French gargoyle. They really want to give us a chance to get him. We had a month of him being in that special PvP box between the alpha event and the lost bots. He was still there, able to be gotten. And if you manage to miss him during Robot Hell, and if you manage to miss him during the that whole month at the beginning of the year, you still have a chance to get him, and you can choose to use your actual stuff to pick him up. It makes the event a little bit harder because it's one more set of things you have to grind for, but you can get Pazuzu again if you don't have him. I don't know if that just means they're really going to give us some Pazuzu gates, but if you're a latecomer and completionist, some of these rare characters are coming back again, because the other character is Mr. Peppy. You guys remember I did a whole video about how expensive and difficult it was to get Mr. Peppy? And now they're just giving him away for 250 pizza. That's a little expensive, considering how expensive his pulls were each last time. You're getting a bargain on Mr. Peppy. So, I don't know. If not have, recommend to buy? I feel like this is one of those instances where there's no premium characters. There's just the soft premium stuff that you can grind in multiple ways. And the only premium character is a chance to get somebody who is really hard to get. If you're someone like me who revels in having really rare characters, it feels a little bad to have Mr. Peppy go from ultra rare to probably not that rare just because he's available now. But also, you know what? That's also fine. It's whatever. It's not really worth begrudging people on this. It's not like Mr. Peppy's that ridiculously strong. It's not like having rarity things that somebody else doesn't have is that bad. Ultimately, we all just want to collect stuff, and it's kind of cool that you get chances to collect stuff. I like to see characters come back. I like to see those characters give small advantages even, so that I'm rewarded for having already had him. I don't have to worry about him. I don't have to budget more pizza. I can just go, oh cool, Mr. Peppy's here. Mr. Peppy, what do you do? Oh, you do nothing. You don't help at all. That's not great. I do wish that we were still doing a little better job of having the premium characters actually make the event easier, because otherwise they are just completion check marks, which isn't bad, but I think it would be that extra incentive to kind of pony up a little cash. If doing so, like, he should help us grind stuff. There's so many characters who are grinding things. The other building that's premium drops items. Peppy should be able to help us grind for items. That's a really easy thing to do. There's like 12 characters. Let whales have one more. That's not going to be that big of an advantage, just to make the event a little bit easier. I feel like these are easy things to do to let premium characters be helpful and not be gates, so people don't feel locked in or pressured to get them, but they do feel incentivized to actually get them. Aha! I did get some signatures by the third map. It looks like the deeper you go, the more likely signatures are to appear, and the more of them you will get. If you can't handle the first couple of maps, you may have a hard time with this event. I think it's also important to just keep in mind, right here to my next, the amount of fuel per stop. It's 1 with each of these, but by the third map, it's already 2 fuel per point. So they're definitely squeezing you for those fuel refills a little bit. That's our premium thing on that as it goes. And it seems like it's still going to be more fuel efficient the deeper down this path that you can go. I know a lot of people are going to get stuck around map 6 and 7 because most people don't have level 61 plus characters still. That's kind of the goal, especially this weekend. That's like the end game, like right now in Futurama, is just, can you get a team like what I have where they, like, if you can get over that hump where you just have a level 65 character or 2 or 3, and you start to be able to get those better drops on the more recent Daily Planet map. I'm looking specifically at, well, they're not here yet today, but the career chips, which will be coming in tomorrow, and the money maps that happen every Saturday at 4, those are the pay dirt that are worth spending a little bit of pizza on if you have it in reserves. Because having those teams, just even, like, especially if you have lure, but getting just 2 or 3 characters up to that level opens up the end game in a really crazy way that there's a really big sticking point until you get to that level. But these events are just going to keep doing this, where, like, you're kind of a second-class citizen if you're not capable of running some of those deeper paths. And I hope that it's not that expensive or that ridiculously grindy for some of you guys to start getting up to that point. But that's basically it. This is a really simple event. It looks fun. I hope that when the next big month-long event comes out, that it actually does some of these things and keeps things not so easy that we feel like we're not having fun or that we're not accomplishing anything, but just not excluding people. Finding stretch goals where Even if you're a brand new player to the game, you're gonna be able to get some of the stuff, still have a fun time, and realize, oh, okay, I'm just intended to run the first 4 or 5 maps, and you probably won't get enough to get all 4 characters that you can get that way, but you can pick which ones you want. That's huge. Last week, Midlife Crisis Lure was really hard to get if you didn't have a max level team. His drops were bigger on the map, on the 3rd and 4th maps that were just really difficult. Even if you had level 35, 40 characters like the gate suggested, it was still, it was definitely tuned higher than that, and those gates were just there to keep you out because they were with kind of rare characters. It was definitely not the intended level. It was made for like level 60 players for that sort of thing. And as a result, a lot of people got Michelle and maybe Petunia, but Midlife Crisis Lure was kind of out of reach for a lot of people, which is fine. He's not that great. He's not a character I'm going to be using, especially since it would mean not using regular Lure, who again is currently the best player in the game. But the point's grabbing stuff, and we want to get the stuff. So I hope you guys can get the stuff. I hope you guys can get at least whichever one of these is your favorite. If you don't have a villain yet, El Chupanibre is going to be an easy villain to get, easier than anyone that we've ever gotten before. Turbo Neptunian wasn't bad, Roberto wasn't too bad, El Chupanibre is right here. So if you need to fill out that slot on your roster, this is your boy. I think the other 2 characters have more interesting passives, potentially, but pick up whoever you can, and get ready. Make sure to spend some time this Saturday leveling up some characters, because I feel like a biggin is on the horizon, and hopefully they start ramping it up slowly, but I have no idea what's in store, and they are leaning more and more and more towards expecting us to have level 60, level 70, closer to level 99 teams. So get cracking if you can. Don't stress out about it too much, but I hope you guys can get there, because PvP is going to be coming back too, and I think it's going to get a lot more interesting when people are the same level and those passives start actually mattering. What do you guys think is coming up next? I think what we're in for next is going to be a big month-long event. There hasn't been a mom event. There hasn't been a lot. There's a lot of potential villain, big, cool theme parks that they could draw from. What do you guys think is coming up next? State in the comments, what big group of baddies would you like to fight next from your favorite episodes of Futurama? I love speculating about it. Let's figure it out and see if we can guess. But that's all for this week. Good luck, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.